So before we get into this video, I do have to issue a correction for this series. The video you're about to see was supposed to be episode 17 for the Pelicans MyLeague. Unfortunately, it's going to be episode 16. Episode 16 was supposed to be the Year 4 sim, plus a little bit of the playoffs. I actually simmed the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, which we did win handily. And I'll show you guys that in a moment, but I screwed up. I was uploading that video yesterday. It's a pretty big file. It was like a 30-minute video, so I uploaded half of it, and then it was slowing down my internet too much. I decided to pause it. I would finish it overnight. Forgot that I only uploaded half of it, deleted the file, and now I have no way of showing you guys the entire Year 4 sim, so that's too bad. It's not that big of a deal, not a ton happened, you guys won't miss out on too much. So I'll show you guys how we did standings-wise. We finished with the #1 record in the Western Conference once again. We ended up winning 67 games, 3 more than we did last year. We won our final 8, differential of 12. So the team definitely got better this year, and that was despite the fact that we actually did it without Kemba Walker for most of the year. He was our big free agent signing. He only played 24 games at the beginning of the regular season, then got hurt with a lower leg stress fracture, and missed the rest of the regular season and the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. So we were able to play pretty well in his absence. But now we've got him back, and we're hoping to build on the success that we have had without him. Hopefully he can add on to that. And then we also acquired Tobias Harris at the trade deadline. He was our one trade deadline move that we made. And I'll show you guys the exact trade that we did for him. But we ended up giving up Zach Randolph, the lottery-protected Houston pick that we own, and Saruna Stojic, our pick from last year, for Tobias Harris. And I think that was a good deal for us. Tobias definitely an upgrade over Zebo, younger, and his contract is pretty nice too. The thing I really like about Tobias is he's on a 3-year, $39 million contract. So after this year, he'll have 2 years left at about 26, and that's really affordable for kind of a sixth-man type of bench scorer, a guy who's going to come off my bench and really impact the game, I think, especially offensively. And the thing I like about him too is we can play him as that small ball 4 if we wanted to have Doncic or Walker or Jackson or any of these guys really play with the second unit. But anyway, it was a pretty good trade, I thought. So that was the move we made. He helped us a little bit in the second half, and I think he's going to help us more in the playoffs. But that is that. So we ended up winning 67 games, and then I simmed the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. We defeated the Lakers 4 games to none, and then we defeated the Warriors 4 games to 1. So again, the Warriors were banged up. This time Klay Thompson was hurt. However, I was still fearful of them because of Steph and KD, but we handled them in 5 games. So there you have it. We're taking on Dallas in this Western Conference Final, and let's get into that. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Out of Boston here. Today I'm back for episode number 17 of my New Orleans Pelicans MyLeague series here in NBA 2K17. Today we're taking on the Dallas Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals. This is Game 4 action, and as you might have guessed based on the way we've played up to this point, yes, we are up 3-0 in this series. This is a pretty undermanned Dallas team. You can see their starting lineup there. Markelle Fultz. They're largely led by their draft picks from a couple years ago, Terrence Ferguson and Markelle Fultz, as well as a couple big men. They have Steven Adams, Enes Kanter, and Dwight Howard, who comes off the bench. So here we go. Josh Jackson picks up his second foul pretty early on in this game. We're going to bring in Tobias Harris to replace him in the starting lineup. Jackson probably likely not to come in until the second quarter. Again, Fultz hits that 3-pointer, so it's a 2-point lead for New Orleans early on. Ball with the ball to Kemba. Good pass to Anthony Davis. He's got the and-one layup. Good contortion of the body right there. Now 15-7 is the score. Davis coming in. He misses the lay-in. That's recovered by Ferguson, but a good steal. And it's Lonzo Ball coming up with it. He's got the lay-in. We're up by 10. Now Fultz with it. He's trying to drive in. Finds Ferguson in the corner. Remember, Terrence Ferguson, almost the guy we drafted late in that first round in 2016, but instead, actually 2017 I should say, but instead we decided to, I believe we ended up trading up and getting Lonzo Ball instead, and I think that move worked out for us. Ferguson's a very nice player, but Ball is definitely superior. So here we go, 4-point lead. Davis with the slam late in the first quarter. That gives us a 6-point lead, and that will be the score at the end of the first quarter. As you can see right here, this buzzer beater is actually going to be good, but they would rule that it did not cut off in time, so Fultz gets had the ball in his hands as time expired, and that will not count. Jackson back into the game in the second quarter here. He lays that one in. Good, a tough layup right there, controlling the body in midair. Now a 10-point lead. Tobias still out there. He loses Mirotic, who's got the 3-point ball. So that's a 7-point lead now for New Orleans. Ball swinging the ball around to Papagiannis all the way to Tyus Jones, who's going to hit Papagiannis, cutting back to the basket. Definitely traveled right there. but does not matter because this is a video game. 10-point lead now. Tyus Jones getting this one to Josh Jackson from behind the line. A lot of people say they don't like the way Jackson's shot looks, but I love Jackson's shot in this game. He's got a really high release point, can shoot over people who are relatively close to him, which makes his contested jumper a lot more effective than a lot of other guys. Kind of like Doncic. Doncic doesn't really hit contested jumpers a lot because his jump shot doesn't really, it's got a high release, but he doesn't really release it over a lot of people. Jackson really jumps up in the air and gets some elevation on guys. Satoransky with the corner three-pointer right there, putting us back up by 11. Now it's a 9-point game late in the second quarter. Doncic to Jackson one more time. Jackson cashes home the three. He's got 19. He had 17 of his 19 first half points in the second quarter, and we would take a 10-point lead into the half right here. 62-52. Taking a look at the stats, 29 rebounds to their 23. We've got 19 first half assists, shooting 48%. So we're up by 12 here. Doncic with a little kind of de facto pick and roll, pseudo pick and roll right there. Didn't really intentionally do the pick and roll, but it kind of worked out that way. And Davis was open underneath, got the and one. And now it's Fultz stepping back. He's going to nail the three-pointer, making it a 9-point game. So Dallas hanging around right here. Nunby tries to get that one into the paint, deflected by Doncic, gets it back down. I think that was Monty Eunice who got the lay-in to go. Now Fultz out there. He's going to give this one to Nunby, who gets right by Doncic with the two-handed slam, and it's a 4-point game. But we got the lead back up to 9 now. Jackson, extra pass to Doncic. Look at the layup. Good adjustment in midair. And he's got the lead back up to 11 now. Papagiannis underneath to Doncic. Extra pass to Davis for 3. And Davis gets the 3 to go, making it a 14-point lead. So now New Orleans maybe starting to pull away a little bit here in this third quarter. But Nunby and Marco Fultz have something to say about that. Fultz with the 3, and it's an 8-point game still. So 84-76. Now it is Enes Kanter down low. He's covered by Josh Jackson. So that was the one big thing about the small lineup we were running this game. Now that we have Kemba Walker back and healthy, we are starting Josh Jackson at the 4, and when they run their 2-center lineup with Kanter and Adams, that makes it a little bit difficult for us because Jackson ends up covering Kanter, but it creates equal problems on the other end of the floor as Lonzo Ball getting this fourth quarter started with a pair of three-pointers as we're back up by 11, but that just means that Kanter's covering Josh Jackson on the other end of the floor, which is probably equally as bad for them as it is on the other end for us. So anyway, 13-point lead now. Ball finding Kemba. Kemba's going to pop the 3, and he's got it to go. So this was my first game using Kemba since he got back from injury, and I was still kind of getting used to his jumper. Kind of missed some shots to them in the first half, but finally started to get hot with him in the second half. And you see it here in this video. Lonzo Ball with it now. He's going to find Jackson, cutting to the basket, two-handed slam. Jackson's got 26 points and 8 assists. He's doing some playmaking as well in this game. Fultz with a three-pointer, that's no good, but it is Mirotic with the rebound, and he's got the putback now, 11-point lead. It's Kemba in the corner. That one is good. We get it back up to 14 now. 2:30 to play. This one all but over at this point. 14-point lead now. It's Jackson in the post. He gets doubled, kicks it back to Kemba. Green release, and Kemba's up to 15 points on the evening now. 118 to 106 late. There is a jumper. Was that Monty Eunice? I can't even tell. Either way, they would get the putback eventually from Cole Aldrich, but that would do it. 118 to 108 your final, and the New Orleans Pelicans are moving on to the NBA Finals. They are your Western Conference champions for the year 2020. So there you have it. We sweep the Dallas Mavericks, and we so far are 12-1 in these playoffs, absolutely dominating. Our only loss coming to Golden State so far. And there you have it. Tyus Jones and the boys are moving on to the NBA Finals for the first time, I believe, in franchise history. I don't think the Pelicans or the Hornets have ever made the NBA Finals. So pretty exciting stuff there, to say the least. Here we are, Dallas walking off back to their locker room. They had a valiant effort, but just overmatched, obviously. I mean, New Orleans really establishing themselves as the best team in this Western Conference in these playoffs. I mean, we're just dominating the competition. It's not really close. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy. And so I'm out. Peace.